Good evening, this is News Mongolia. I'm Salangkort in the MNB World studio. For our top stories, Erdeneburen hydroelectric power plant construction to resume in March 2022. 2 new ministries to be established. COVID-19, 639 local cases, 10 imported cases, and 2 additional deaths reported. For other news, stay tuned. Mongolian energy resources such as coal, solar power, and wind power are considered sufficient to supply power to Central Asia, but the country still buys electricity from its 2 neighbors due to a lack of energy infrastructure. Industry analysts say there is an urgent need to implement large energy projects, such as the country's hydroelectric power plant project. The Erdeneburen hydroelectric power plant's construction work is expected to resume this spring. According to preliminary studies, around 258 households will be affected by the construction of the hydroelectric power plant. According to the project agreement, construction work will take 6 months. The government has decided to spend around 10 billion Mongolian turuk on relocation and compensation for people affected by power plant's construction.
We conducted a survey of households affected by the construction and one-time compensation. Even though Mongolia has very poor experience with relocation and compensation procedures related to major infrastructure projects, we should negotiate it with local residents and conduct this task within the legal framework.
Construction of the 90-megawatt Erdeneburen hydroelectric power plant is set to begin this spring, pursuant to an agreement between Mongolia and China. Despite being stalled for many years due to external and internal factors, the project is seen as crucial for Mongolia's energy independence and significant for ensuring long-term energy supply to the western provinces. The number of electricity consumers in Mongolia has seen an average annual increase of 7 to 8%, and domestic energy production has risen by 6 to 7% annually in recent years. The central power grid reached peak demand of 1,308 megawatts on December 14, 2020. The state pays an annual 15 billion Mongolian turuk to import energy for the western region. If domestic energy projects are intensified and promptly implemented, analysts say Mongolia could put this money into domestic circulation instead of sending it abroad.
We think that this project will be a notable example of how renewable energy sources can be transformed into electricity and how we can use this to cover the growing demand for energy. We should not lose this opportunity. This project will determine whether or not Mongolia can fully cover its local demand through domestic production. We should create our own national electricity grid and reduce our dependence on energy imports. Within the new economic recovery policy, the electricity and energy sectors will be given high priority in the near future.
With the commissioning of the Erdeneburen hydroelectric power plant, the western region will be able to use energy that is 7 to 10 times cheaper than the current high-priced energy imported from Russia and China. The state spends 8 billion to 16 billion Mongolian turuk a year on providing energy to the western region. Now let's take a look at our daily report on COVID-19 cases in Mongolia. The Ministry of Health reported that 649 new COVID-19 cases were confirmed today and 2 people have died.
The Ministry of Health today reported that 649 new COVID-19 cases were detected in the past 24 hours after tests were carried out at PCR laboratories across the country. Unfortunately, 2 women aged over 60 with underlying health conditions died of COVID-19 complications. COVID-19 death toll in the country has reached 2,001. All new cases except 10 imported ones were confirmed domestically, out of which 465 were confirmed in Ulaanbaatar and 174 were confirmed in the provinces. 4,090 COVID-19 patients are being treated at hospitals nationwide. Additionally, 10,510 patients are being treated at home. Among the 4,090 COVID-19 patients being treated at hospitals nationwide, 1,020 are showing mild symptoms of illness and 36 are in critical condition. As of now, around 2.16 million people have had 2 doses of COVID-19 vaccine and 28.8% of the population has received the booster shot so far.
Thank you for staying with us on MNB World. Now let's take a look at Mongolia's current affairs. During an irregular meeting of cabinet, the strategy and structure of the Ministry of Economy and Development and the Ministry of Digital Development and Communications were approved. The Ministry of Economy and Development will consist of 7 departments and 8 divisions in charge of matters such as policy planning for development, regional and industry development, development financing, development research and analysis, and trade and economic cooperation. The ministry will operate with a staff of 80. The Ministry of Digital Development and Communications will consist of 6 departments and 8 divisions with 87 staff. The ministry will be charged of matters such as the implementation of digital development policy, communications policy, and cybersecurity. During the meeting, the Communications and Information Technology Authority of Mongolia and the National Development Agency were dissolved. Third, Mongolian epic songs are considered a significant genre of Mongolia's intangible heritage. Scholars say that only 200 epic songs have been preserved today. We talked to Mongolian studies scholars and an epic song singer to learn more about this wonderful heritage. This is Batarchao, a Mongolian Tuul singer. Before singing an epic song, the singer offers a tribute to Mother Nature as a sign of respect for all creatures. People say that an epic singer leaps from the infinity to another. Batarchao says that only a few epic singers know these customs and traditions nowadays.
We differentiate different generations of Tuul singers by their place of origin. For example, singers from Alta Oranha are considered singers of the 4th generation, while those from Bayalta, to the south in Hojurt, are considered 9th and 10th generation. Our Oranha people have 2 different techniques for singing, the Horjung and Shachmal vocal methods. These 2 different methods allow us to sing for a long time.
Mongolian epic songs are about the daily lives of nomadic people. The songs that are sung during difficult times, such as war, a pandemic, or natural disaster, are different from songs sung during calm, peaceful times. Singers call these 2 groups of songs severe epics and soft epics. Soft epics include songs such as Bayin Tsagang Ogun and Aril Tsagang Ogun. Mongolian studies researchers note that some epic songs should be sung according to strict etiquette and rituals.
Some severe songs were supposed to be sung in a gear without a fire and with the ton, the oil-shaped crown of the wooden structure of the Mongolian gear closed. This is an example of the strict and unique rituals followed during epic song singing. Few nations have an intangible heritage like epic songs, fewer than 10. Mongolia is one of the major representatives of Tuul culture. As we look back on history, epic song singing is preserved in 2 types of countries. One is countries with ancient civilizations, and the other is countries that were empires in the past. I know a man who promotes this culture to the younger generation in North Province. I think a special program should be implemented to preserve and promote this ancient culture.
Scholars say there were 500 to 700 Mongolian epic songs. However, only around 200 have been preserved and are known today. These songs depict many aspects of nomadic life, including shamanism, animism, religion, and the nomadic way of life, and can contain a few hundred to several thousand lines. Scholars note that epic songs are an example of the strength and authenticity of Mongolian culture and traditions. Now let's take a look at the currency exchange rates provided by Mongol Bank. The National Amateur Chess Championships, organized under the auspices of the Speaker of the State, Great Horal Zandan for the 30th anniversary of the adoption of the new constitution of Mongolia, lasted for 2 days, January 8 to 9, 2022, at Government House.
The Speaker of the Parliament, Zandan and the oldest player and the Democratic Constitutional Legislator and former Member of Parliament, 83-year-old Nedeng, hosted the opening ceremony and started the tournament. This year's competition was held in 3 stages: primary at the zone and district level, semi-final at the province and capital city levels, and national at the national level. This year's tournament was attended by 5,272 chess players from 331 zones and 9 districts of the capital city. The number of participants increased by 8% compared to the last year. The semi-finals were held in all 21 provinces and the capital city, and 645 chess players participated. In the first round, 509 chess players took part in North Province, 449 in Bayangkor, and 480 in Sakon provinces. A total of 6,037 chess players participated in the national doubles nationwide, where 80 male and 32 male chess players won the finals. The tournament, dedicated to the Constitution Day of Mongolia, was held under the Swiss system in 8 rounds, and the winners were awarded the title of Master of Chess. In the men's category, Tufshintuk Singhtongler, a participant from Gausimber province, 20-year-old, took first place with 7 points. Samant Sanchdorch, 72-year-old from Sukhwata district of the capital city, took second place with 6.5 points. Darsurum Batwal, 21-year-old from Arkhanga province, took third place with 6.5 points. In the women's category, Gambolt Sancherdolum from Howell district of the capital city won the gold medal by leading the competition with 6.5 points. Pachimi Galsandorch from Orkhanga province took the second place with 6.5 points, and Khotanganzarif from Arkham province took third place with 6 points.
Here comes the weather forecast for the world's major cities. This is it for today. Thank you for staying with us. We'll see you tomorrow with more news and updates. Have a nice evening. Goodbye.